There is one thing we can all agree on in this world, it's that robocallers, spam callers, and scammers, they suck. And they take up a lot of time having to block those calls manually over and over again. And if you're tired of doing that, then I have the app for you. It kills robocalls. It's called RoboKiller. And this is your review. So I found RoboKiller because I needed something better than what AT&T offered for free that blocks calls. And I was getting tons of robocalls a day, upwards of 5 on average, potentially up to 10 on a really bad day. And I just got so tired of hanging up on them and just silencing my phone that I needed something better than what AT&T offered. So I found RoboKiller. Now, RoboKiller fulfilled everything that I absolutely needed in a robo-blocking app and more that I didn't know I needed. And it really ticked off my pettiness checkmark that I love, because I can be sassy and I can be petty, and RoboKiller fulfills the pettiness that lives inside us all, especially when it comes to getting back at robocallers. So RoboKiller is an app that blocks 99% of robocalls, spam calls, and scam calls. That's as effective as birth control, and I'm willing to pay for that. I'm willing to take those chances. So if you're needing an app, then this is it. Let's get into the details of it. First, I want to tell you a little bit about robocallers and scammers. How many calls do they make each year? How important is it to have an app that blocks them? Well, in 2020, there were 46 billion robocalls, scam calls placed in the United States. 46 billion. Now, that sounds like a lot, and it 100% is, but imagine this, in 2019 there were 58 billion, so the amount of robocalls is going down, but there are still so many that go around that we do not need to be spending our time blocking. Now, on average, the average American gets about 12 spam calls per month. Now, those are just the calls that are reported. And so there are tons more calls that aren't reported, because I sometimes feel like I get 12 calls in a day, but on average we get 12 a month, sometimes, many times even more. Now, everybody in the country deals with this, but there are 10 states in particular that get more spam calls than anybody. Those states are Arizona, Nevada, Illinois, Ohio, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and Maine. And you can fact check me up here. We did a little poll and a survey and gathered lots of numbers that showed those states are the worst for spam callers. So if you live in one of those states, then this video is definitely for you. And even if you don't live in any of those states, we all deal with spam calls and we all need a better system to block them. So let's get into what is RoboKiller and how it works. So like I said before I downloaded RoboKiller, I was getting at least 2 to 3 robocalls per day, but on a bad day it was 5 to 10 calls, and I would be in a meeting and having to hang up calls, or I'd be hanging out or getting drinks and I have to hang up calls, and it was just the worst. It was seriously impacting my day-to-day life and I hated it. So AT&T's built-in spam blocking wasn't doing it, so I decided to go with RoboKiller and spend a few bucks each month to save my sanity. Now, RoboKiller does cost, we get a free trial, free 7-day trial, and then it costs $4.99 a month, or $40 for the year. So you save about $20 if you buy the year-long package, but if you have commitment issues, then month to month is decently cheap. It's about a coffee a day, so it's not too expensive. So how does RoboKiller work? Well, it's really easy. You just download it from your given app store. You have to allow a few permissions and go into your settings and change a few things, but other than that, it's really simple and really easy to use. And once you set it up, then you don't have to do anything and you just let RoboKiller do its job. So RoboKiller's job is to block unknown numbers and spammers, and oftentimes these spammers and robocalls are numbers not in your phone. So I was worried that maybe my dentist would call, or I don't know, a doctor or my landlord or someone's number who I don't have saved, and RoboKiller would block that number, but that's not the case. RoboKiller only blocks numbers that are on a global list of spam callers, and they update that daily. So if you're waiting on a call from a job interview or I don't know, any other unknown number, don't worry. Only numbers on this global spam calling list are the numbers they block. And say if, for instance, on accident, RoboKiller does try to block a call that you need, Anybody who answers the phone that RoboKiller is censoring, they ask them who they are and what the purpose of the call is, and then they forward that call onto you so you won't miss anything. And so far, I haven't missed any calls. RoboKiller has done its job flawlessly. It's blocking the calls it needs to block, and it's letting through the calls that it needs to let through. The other thing that RoboKiller does is block spammy and scammy text messages. So there is a very popular scam that goes around, it has been going around for about a year now, where a scammer will send a text and say, your package is almost here, track it. And you're like, I haven't ordered a package. Why would I be getting a number to track? Well, that's a scam text message, don't click it. What RoboKiller will do is move that into a junk folder. And it's really easy to find. It creates a new folder on your phone where it separates promotions, spam texts, and you can filter all texts if you want to just be in your normal inbox. But it's really helpful so you know what links are good links, what links are bad links, and what links are safe to open. Now, as I mentioned before, there is this pettiness level to RoboKiller that I absolutely love. Like, it takes petty to a whole new level, and it's perfect for me because I can't stand robocalls. They get under my skin so freaking bad. But what RoboKiller does is if you allow it to, it will have a robot pick up the RoboKiller Robocall. So you can have Ice-T wasting a spammer's time. You can have the voice of Donald Trump or Joe Biden or any plethora of celebrities answer the phone and waste this robot's time. So the purpose behind this is that the longer you keep a scammer on the line or a robocaller on the line, the less calls they can make to other people and the less time they waste. So when they're on the phone with your robot wasting its time, it's doing everybody a whole lot of good. And on the other side of this, on our side, how much time have robocallers and spammers wasted of ours? So if we can waste some of their time, perfect. All around, it is just an awesome thing. Here's a little taste of what one of those robocalls that RoboKiller will pick up sounds like.
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Yes, how are you doing?
So the bummer thing here is if you want a spam blocking app or a spam blocking feature for free, there aren't many, and I wasn't able to find any that I trusted or that did the job well enough for me to recommend. But what I will recommend is checking with your carrier because some of them offer apps for free that you can download that come with your cell phone plan, or the actual carrier itself has a free app that you need to download separate from your cell phone plan. And I'll be going over 3 apps in another video from Verizon, T-Mobile, and AT&T and showing you how those work and reviewing them for you as well. So you might have another option that is either low cost or free compared to RoboKiller, but for the most part, I highly recommend RoboKiller. It is worth the $4.99 a month to block these calls. I haven't had to pick up one spam call, or I haven't had to decline one robocall in a week now, and it is just perfection. So if you're looking for an app like this, then RoboKiller is definitely it. That's the video. That's it. That's the review. Thanks for watching. I hope it helps. What app do you use? What apps do you like? Are you going to try out RoboKiller? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Sherry Riggs with WhistleOut TV.